If you've spent any time in the world of Diablo before, you'll probably know the feeling of staring at your character's skill tree, trying to hold on to all the information of which abilities go with which perks, or which skills activate any number of various other buffs. It can be a lot to take in, regardless of which class you've picked. We've been slaying demons across Sanctuary with multiple characters and different skills, so we're here to help you get a character build started in Diablo IV. A quick note before we dive right in, while we have spent time with the full release of the game, our week and a half of reviewers access ended 1 week before the game's release, at which point we had to say goodbye to our review characters for good. This means that we were unable to test specific builds for each class just yet. This video is here to help people with making decisions about their character as they progress, in order to alleviate the decision paralysis that comes when starting with an entirely new class. Our full written guide will be regularly updated after the launch of the game, so be sure to check back in for more detailed class builds and strategies in the days and weeks after release. With that out of the way, let's go over the basics. Each class has access to roughly 20 to 25 skills that can be unlocked in their skill trees. These are all various abilities, spells, and attacks, which, when unlocked, must then be placed into one of your 6 active skill slots in order to use it in battle. Players can use any order of skills in any slot, but most players will choose to use one skill from each of the major skill types. These types include the basic skills, which you can use at any time, your various class-specific branches like Conjurations for Sorcerers or Companions for Druids, and your ultimate ability. Using one skill from each of the 6 active skill types is a safe way to select your abilities, but some players may choose to lean heavier into some types than others, depending on how this lets them build their character. Now, how do you choose between these dozens of skills as you unlock more and more of them with each level up? We recommend trying each one of them out. You can refund your skill point allocation for free until about level 10. And while the cost of refunding a skill goes up with each additional skill point, the cost is not so much that it should keep you from adjusting your class as you need to. If you're selling every piece of gear that you come across, you probably won't even notice the refund cost. This means that you can pick a skill, use it for a few encounters to get a feel for it, and then refund it to swap to something else and try that one next. Once you've had a look at all of the skills and you've found your favorite ones, you can put more points into the skills that you want to stick with. Each of the skills has customization forks that specialize the ability in different ways, and you can put more points into the main ability as well to make it stronger overall. These forks and additional points that you can spend on each ability form the reason why it is best to make decisions about which 6 skills you want to use for your class. You can keep skill points allocated towards additional abilities in your skill tree if you want to have the flexibility to swap different skills out on the fly. But the more you do this, the less powerful each ability will be, as you can only allocate so many skill points, and each ability can take 7 skill points each to get to full power. It's important to keep in mind that many skills deal certain types of damage, debuffs, and status effects. A safe way to make a competent build is to take note of effects that are included with your favorite skills, and choose future abilities that can complement those effects. For example, my Sorcerer here uses many lightning spells, many of which create crackling energies, which are these little blue lightning balls. By choosing future abilities like Static Discharge, which increases the chance of a crackling energy forming after a critical strike, I can improve my main skills even more. These skill trees are large, so to help keep effects like these in mind, you can use the keyword search feature on the skill tree to highlight the abilities that use certain effects. The keyword list is full of class-specific terms and more general terms as well, such as vulnerable and overpower. As a barbarian, you can choose to highlight abilities that feature the keyword bleed, and this will show you each skill on the tree that uses this same keyword, allowing you to plan your skill point usage accordingly. You can also choose to add additional keywords to the search to see which keywords share common skills, which means you could then start investing in one to potentially improve the other. As you can see, this is just a fraction of the amount of available keywords on any class skill tree, so that's why we suggest getting to know your favorite skills and abilities first before you double down on any specific effects, as you may be underwhelmed by something that sounded cool but didn't behave the way you thought that it might once you got to know it. Use that skill refund regularly to get your basics feeling right before really focusing on the specific effects of your build. It's also important to keep in mind which keywords your build works with when you start to equip legendary and rare equipment. Bonuses like critical strike chance may be more useful to you than health regen, and legendary aspects can be so distinctly powerful as to change the nature of your entire build if it fits in with your playstyle. So as you start to reach those higher levels, start paying a bit more attention to the details of your items. Each class not only has an entirely different skill tree and set of moves, but they also have unique mechanics associated with their class as well. We'll go over each of these class-specific specializations here, but essentially these are all different ways to make your class build even more your own. Barbarians are lumbering brawlers that excel in dealing melee damage through a variety of different weapon types, known as their arsenal. Many of their attacks require the use of specific weapons, while other skills can be used with weapons chosen by the player. This arsenal choice mechanic plays out in the class-specific expertise tab, which grants players with bonuses for using particular types of weapons, such as gaining extra bleed damage or fury generation. After reaching level 15 and completing the Masters of Battle side quest,
the tales walk tall ahead of you, Wanderer. Tell me, are you worthy of them?
You can also designate one of these weapon class bonuses as a technique that can be applied to all weapon damage that your barbarian does, and this can be swapped out on the fly. Use your build keywords to guide you on which weapon types you should prioritize, and level up that weapon expertise type to further increase your build's potency. The Necromancer specializes in blood magic, curses, and raising an army of the dead to fight for them. As the Necromancer has many ranged attacks and low HP, the Necromancer's army can take some of the aggression away from them, leaving them room to deal damage from safety. Right away, you'll have access to the class-specific Book of the Dead page, which allows you to tailor your necromancy to your liking by changing how your summons behave. As you level up, you will also unlock different types of summons that you can call on, like the skeletal mages and golems, as well as the skeletal warriors. You can change what type of creatures you summon as a whole, and what type of bonuses to give them from this page. For example, you may want your warriors to have an increased chance to form corpses for you, or maybe they should use shields in order to better defend you. You can also sacrifice your creations and lose the ability to call on them to gain a more direct boost to your own personal stats. Tailor these different options towards your build by using all of your various Book of the Dead bonuses. The Sorcerer is adept with frost, fire, and lightning spells, and can use any combination of these elements to great effect. Some mages may choose to specialize in a single element, while others may use long range or damage over time as guiding principles that inform which spells they unlock. While they do not have a class-specific skill page, after reaching level 15 and completing the Legacy of the Magi side quest, they gain enchantment slots. Sorcerers can take any spell that they have points in and assign it to one of the 2 enchantment slots to unlock a unique buff. Each spell provides a different buff that is usually somewhat related to its primary function, like how applying the Blizzard enchantment will automatically summon a blizzard cloud above your character for 6 seconds every 15 seconds. You may want to have an ability with points in it solely to equip it in an enchantment slot, or you may just like the bonuses of your current abilities too. Just don't forget to try them out to see which is most effective for you. You can also swap these out at any time. Rogues are sneaky and fast, using ranged attacks, backstabs, and high mobility skills to stay out of harm's way. When you reach level 15 and complete the True Potential side quest, you get access to Rogue Specializations. These add new ways for you to actively engage in combat on a second-to-second basis by prompting you to use certain types of abilities or focus on attacking some enemies first before others. For example, the first one you unlock gives you a combo points meter, where every basic skill attack fills up the meter, and core skills consume the combo points for additional effects. Try each of these specializations out as you unlock them to see which you prefer engaging with and which would work best with your build. Druids call upon ancient ancestral spirits of the forest and nature in order to shapeshift and channel elemental power. At level 15, you will be tasked with liberating Turdulra, an ancient druidic stronghold in North Skosglen. Clear the stronghold, complete the Spirits of the Grove side quest, and you will then be able to commune with the spirits of Turdulra in order to unlock various spirit boons. You unlock these boons by spending Druidic Spirit Essence, which is a resource that will drop once you reach level 15. You can have one boon from each spirit active at a time, so look at which boons suit you best and try to unlock boons from each spirit. The Snake Spirits boons are kept secret from you until you reach 100 Essence to unlock all of them at once, which can take a while. And you can also equip a bonus 5th boon by unlocking every available boon from each spirit first, for a total of 400 Druidic Essence. Find the combination of passive bonus effects that best suit your current build, and focus on unlocking those first before unlocking the rest. Hopefully this has given you a solid framework from which you can build your character from. If you find any particularly strong skill or keyword combinations while starting out in Diablo, be sure to let us know in the comments. For more on Diablo 4, check out these 17 essential tips and tricks, or how to unlock a mount. And for everything else gaming, stick with IGN.